All right, good evening. Greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. And for the second time in less than 2 hours, I've got an update for you as in regards to the Detroit Lions, Patrick Surtain. And yes, I do get Brad Holmes is working the phones with other teams as we put in the breaking news video about 2 hours ago. So less than an hour after we went live with the breaking news about the Detroit Lions, Patrick Surtain, Denver Broncos, Las Vegas Raiders, among other teams, in some conversations with Brad Holmes today. Here's what we got. Less than an hour after we went live, breaking news came out of Denver that the Denver Broncos have picked up already the fifth-year option on Patrick Surtain. What does this mean? I don't know, but the timing of it seems very particular that I go on the air, gosh, I don't even know, we'll say 2 hours ago. I guess I'll look it up, an hour and 53 minutes ago with a breaking news update in regards to the Denver Broncos, Detroit Lions, Patrick Surtain. 56 minutes ago, Adam Scheffler reports of ESPN, in case you're unaware, that the Denver Broncos have picked up the fifth-year option on the just fabled cornerback who's still under his rookie contract. So, yes, indeed, he will have 2 more years under his rookie contract. Yes, the fifth-year option is a bit of a pay increase, but I'm going to say this for anybody watching, something is brewing here. There's just the chances of the Lions having this conversation, and I apologize for not doing a better thumbnail that maybe makes it appear a little bit different than the prior thumbnail, but, you know, hey, I'm on limited time here today, guys, and doing what I can while I'm trying to do my job. So at any rate, here's what I got. You're this close to the draft, and something's happening. Clearly something in Denver is happening. Is it with the Detroit Lions? That's where we're going to have to wait and see. But again, just to reiterate, if you didn't see the video earlier today, about 2 hours ago, I got good information from not 1, not 2, not 3, but 5 different sources throughout, for the most part, Detroit media outlets. And they all confirmed that Brad Holmes had conversations today with the Denver Broncos, with the Las Vegas Raiders, among other teams. What is interesting to me is that it would appear that the Lions are trying to acquire Patrick Surtain. Anybody watching this gets the Denver Broncos are in a rebuild. They have the number 12 pick. They need more ammunition to get up to pick number 5 or 6 or thereabouts. We get the first 3 teams in this upcoming NFL draft are probably taking quarterbacks unless we're just all way off base with it. The number 4 team, Arizona Cardinals, does seem less likely that they would take a quarterback, so you get it there. The number 5, the Chargers, they're not taking a quarterback. So it sounds like Denver's trying to get up to roughly that spot. They need more picks in order to get up to that spot to get one of the quarterbacks that they covered that Sean Payton wants to rebuild with. We all also get that Sean Payton isn't a spring chicken. He's not the youngest dude in the world. He needs to get a quarterback now. He can't wait 1 or 2 more seasons to acquire somebody to begin the rebuild. He needs to do it now. He tried with Russell Wilson. It didn't work out. As we all know, they took a big pay cut, or a hit, I should say, on the books to get rid of him. So what we also learned today is that the Lions are speaking to the Las Vegas Raiders about their number 13 pick. We all get the Denver Broncos are picking at 12, Raiders at 13. Something's brewing there. As we speculated in the breaking news video about 2 hours ago, it is my opinion. I don't have any kind of information. It's just my opinion. You're trying to put these 2 teams against each other to see who's going to give you the best deal possible. It was speculated to me, and I don't have firm information. I get some of you guys are going to throw sticks and stones and talk about my mama or whatever. I don't have concrete information, but it does seem like in order for the Lions to get that number 12 pick, you're talking about the number 1 and the number 2 pick this year, and then probably a little bit more on top of it. In return, it was speculated by me you would get the number 12 pick and potentially a 4th and some other considerations, whether it all be this year or not. Again, if you're just joining us, not even an hour after we broke the news about this situation, Adam Scheffler of ESPN reported that at that point, minutes before, so an hour after we went on air, that the Denver Broncos picked up the 5th-year option on Patrick Surtain. It would seem to me you're doing that in some sort of move to say, hey, if we take your trade offer, we're going to be willing to pick up part or some of his contract on the remaining terms. It seems to me you're doing this to entice a trade. There'd be no reason for the Denver Broncos to need to pick up that 5th-year option now unless they were trying to negotiate some sort of trade. And that would also mean they would pick up some of that draft responsibility. Let's see what you guys have to say about this. I get it's not the greatest thumbnail in the world. I went as quick as I could on this thing. I just slapped update on it. So if you can't tell the difference between the one earlier and this one, I apologize. You know what? I'm doing the best I can on limited time. And I have Jen yelling at me in the background that we need to get going to the dog park. Robert G. Hey, Dan. Hey, Robert. How are you? One Funky. Yeah, 19.8 billion. And that's where I'm going with things, Funky. They pick it up. It just seems like, why do it now unless there's an incentive for the team to do so now? I do believe that there's going to be some sort of thing where if he gets traded, the Denver Broncos are going to be on the hook for part of that. So something is brewing. And again, I want to say this to everybody watching. I cannot guarantee this means he's coming to Detroit. I'm not here to say that. I'm here just to line up the pieces, be the detective, and say there's no way that news came out to me 2 hours ago, and then less than an hour later, this option's being picked up. Something is happening, and I'm praying. I'm going to be real honest and selfish here. I'm praying he's coming to Detroit because you know what? I love the idea of that secondary. And then even though we would lose our first and second, I know we were talking on the breaking news earlier, if the Lions can somehow get a third or fourth and some other stuff, maybe they trade back up into the second round, get Marshawn Nealon or somebody like that, maybe an offensive lineman, maybe Zenter or something like that, and just call it a draft, call it a day. All right, Doug, something is negotiating intensely. Yes, and that's where I'm at with it. Like we've been talking about on Lions Talk Live for a while, if you're not aware of how the process works with the scouts. So you came into Monday, that was your last day in earnest, going through all the war room simulations with the GM and everybody involved. Tuesday, typically, can't say it's this way with every team, but typically that's the day off for all the scouts, everybody in the scouting department, etc., everybody in the war room other than maybe Brad Holmes and one or two other assistants. Why is that the case? Because Wednesday you're coming in, you're doing your soft shoe walkthroughs, any kind of last second, just subtle light adjustments before the draft on Thursday. Thursday, hey, you're coming in, you're putting in an all-day thing. You know, you're not really making any changes then and there unless something pops up last second with a trade or some sort of detail nobody saw coming. And then, you know, Friday, same thing with the draft. Saturday, the same thing. And then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, you got people coming in. You got everything beginning as far as the offseason, getting these guys acclimated, going to the NFL adjustment policies, all that stuff. So you get it. Mr. Nico, let's flip and go 100% with that. Rob, I don't want to give up our first and second round for Surtain. I get it, man. I got no control over that. I'm just reporting the speculation. It is me speculating. Nobody has told me what the terms are. I am trying to be abundantly clear because I get some of the people who watch us will say, well, you said they were giving up 29 straight first-round picks. That's not what I'm doing. I'm speculating what it would take. I also am saying that it's not coincidental to me that they're having some kind of chatter with the Las Vegas Raiders. Why would you do that as a GM? To try to put the number 12 and number 13 pick against each other to try to get a better deal for you, the Detroit Lions. Can you get Surtain for, I don't know, man, a first and fourth? That'd be great. Can I give them, 24 packs of Mountain Dew and call it good? You get the gist. Michael D, thanks, Coach. Woo! The first woo of the show. Man, that took a while, too. Doug, we only need two players in the draft to hit. An offensive line to replace Jackson when he left was a third rounder. This is true. Jackson was the third rounder. Chris, rather give up a second and six? I would too, man. If we could give up a seventh round pick, I'd be all for it. Unfortunately, it's not up to me. Mike, what do you got? Surtain for a first is easy. I'll take that, man. It's going to be real hard to get a first round cornerback or any cornerback that's going to be as good as him and still on a rookie deal, especially if something's happening with the Denver Broncos where, hey, we signed him, we agreed to eat some of this contract. Why would you sign him a year before you have to for the fifth-year option unless there's an incentive for the team to do so? I'll let you guys speculate. Doug, one, a shutdown corner. The other, offensive line for next year, fifth rounder for wide receiver, and, a kicker. That'd be good. If we can get the Panthers kicker, man, I'd be okay with that, man. Mike, he's like 22. It's just as good as drafting a sure thing. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he's incredibly young. Patrick, all right, what's happening, fellas? Let me know, Dan. Let me know. Patrick, let me know if you need a recap, but I think I've repeated it enough where hopefully anybody tuning in has probably caught it. Mr. Nico, Coach Dan's mother is a saint, and I'll fight anyone who says otherwise. Thank you for that. Hey, man, my mom's pushing 90. She still lives on her own, still mows her own lawn, shovels her own driveway, and chews me out anytime I try to go and golf against her and beat her, because you know what? I still can't beat her. All right, Doug, they don't care the cash. They want cheap number one quarterback. This is true. Yeah, and they do want it. They want to begin that rebuild now. Sean Payton, hey, he's not getting any younger. He realizes probably last year was not what most people anticipated, probably not what he wanted out of the Denver Broncos. So my question as a coach, especially someone, I'm no spring chicken. I'm going to be 52 this year. Do you really want to wait in 1 or 2, 3 more years of this rebuild before you get the guy you want? Or are you going to say, hey, I've identified we're probably not getting one of the top 3 quarterbacks. We can win with this guy. I need to find the way to go up and get this guy now. If he does that this year, even if it's not a great win-loss record, he's probably going to look at that guy and say, we're going to be ready for the next year after that. All right, Mike, I live in Denver. People are going to hate me when they draft JJ and we steal their best player. Hey, it happens, man. Somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose. And for the Detroit Lions, I'm not going to say your window ever shuts out on an opportunity for the Super Bowl, but I think most people watching this would agree the Detroit Lions have an opportunity to win and get into the Super Bowl this year and win it, and then potentially a year or two after that. Who knows beyond that? It just becomes harder and harder to predict. All right, Mike, hopefully we don't have to give them Hendon. Hopefully not. Robert G., so what's the odds still making the trade for Surtain? Robert, if you would have asked me when the first bit of news came out 2 hours ago, I'd have said, I'll go with 60-40. 60 yes, 40 no. But now that you've got the news about the contract extension, I guess you'd say, with Surtain picking up the 5th-year option, I might move that up to like 65-35. I mean, I'm not going to call it a slam dunk, but something's clearly happening with Patrick Surtain. It's just the timing for both of these events happening within an hour or so of each other. It's just too coincidental for me. And having been a reporter and a coach, like I said, for a billion years, I found a long time ago, man, there's very few things that happen by coincidence. All right, Joseph, that's too much capital for me, man. I would just slide, fall back, and just pick up. I love Cooper DeJean, in my opinion. I think he's going to be a heck of an NFL player. I would get him in a draft cuz. Okay, yeah, nothing wrong with that, man. If that's the way they go, if they think that's the best option, go with it, man. I got no issues with it. Whatever Brad does, I'm going to think that's the right move. Chris, he'll be traded for sure. Yeah, that's where I'm thinking. Now it's just, can it be here? That's the question. And you know what? I can't answer it. So don't yell at me if he doesn't get traded here. All right, Joseph, wouldn't be able to do that. Pick up Cooper DeJean and Marshawn Nealon. I'm down with both of them. And you don't have to be new to the channel to understand that I think Marshawn Nealon, he's not one of the top 3 or 4 pass rushers in this draft. He is one of the top 3 or 4 pass rushers when it comes to the P word, potential. What he lacks is a lot more, in my opinion, developmental skills, things that are teachable. When I compare him to some of the other guys at the top of the draft, I think he's just got more athleticism or upside. Now you got to just get him with the right coaching staff, etc. Latua, I think he's dang polished. I mean, that dude is very, very good. I'm just not sure if he has more upside. But anyways, we'll save that for another video. Doug, Sean Payton, and Dan Campbell, good friends. They are. And there is that tie there. There is that connection. All right, Chris, who knows? Yes, that's what we're all guessing right now. Robert G., me too, Coach. Prayers for Surtain. Yes, I'm with you there. I want to see the no-fly zone. I want to see those T-shirts. I want to see anybody try to pass against this blitzing defense. Yeah, good luck, man. You're gonna hit some shots. You're gonna hit some big ones too, but you're gonna throw some picks and you're gonna get sacked a whole lot. I can't wait to see it. Joseph, I would almost rather have Jake Bates and Cooper DeJean. Yeah, I mean, some people will. There's no worries there, man. Chris, Bates all out. Fair enough. One funky. Sewell's gonna be a $19 million 5th year. Goff wants 50. St. Brown 27. McNeil is gonna get a nice pay raise. We don't have Deck or Z on the O-line. The money ain't mattering. Yes, yeah. Hey, I'll let somebody better at the books handle it than me, man. Oops, sorry about that. I had to turn that off. All right, Chris, Bates all but locked in. Okay, fair enough. Robert J. Surtain is a day one starter. Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, the moment he's acquired, they're getting him that jersey, and they're going to say, you're the number one corner. Man, Davis, that'd be a heck of a number two corner. And then who knows, Mosley, Robertson as your number 3 and 4, Branch as somewhere in that mix too, who's also going to play safety. Wow, that secondary would be scary good. All right, Mike DeJane isn't making it to 29. He's like 9.8 RAS. Yes, he's very incredibly athletic. He is incredibly athletic. I agree with you there, Mike. Smoke you some. Throw Hooker in the deal. Woo! So could that be part of it? I mean, I don't know. I'm going to save that for another time, man. But could that be part of it? Could Sean Payton say, yeah, that's the dude I want. What do we got to do to get him? We get you Surtain. Man, I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. All right, hey, man. Thank you, brother, for always keeping us updated. Now get your wife getting those Woo shirts. I'm on her, man. Yeah, I got to get her to get them done before Friday because she leaves on a thing to go see her sister and her sister's family for the weekend. So I'm working on it, man. Broski, what's the breaking news, Broski Bear? So about 2 hours ago, I had a breaking news tidbit for everybody. The Detroit Lions have been talking to the Denver Broncos about a trade. I cannot say for sure it's for Patrick Surtain, but when you connect the dots, Sean Payton wants a quarterback, and he wants a rookie quarterback now. They're going to need more than just sitting at number 12 to get that. We also get that an hour after I went on the air with it, Patrick Surtain signed his 5th-year option to extend his rookie deal with the Denver Broncos. It seems to me, since the Lions were in Brand Holmes, I get they were talking to more than just 1 or 2 teams today, but they were talking to the Denver Broncos. I got that confirmed. You're also talking to the Las Vegas Raiders, who pick right behind the Denver Broncos. Got that confirmed. It just seems like they're putting each other against each other so you can try to get the best deal for the Lions. I also get the Denver Broncos feel, Sean Payton, where he's at in time frame of his life, coaching. He wants to go win now, and chances are one of those quarterbacks he really is coveting isn't going to be there at 12. So I'll let you come to your own conclusions on that. Illinois Grizzlies kill Lions. Fair enough. All right. John Doe, I hope we go for defense and get one wide receiver. It could happen, man. Totally. Hookadoo or Broski, good chance Surtain might be on our table. I'm down with it. Chris, JJ, a dog. It is. He is. Excuse me. John Doe, right. Illinois, Denver wants a higher pick than 29 in their move up attempts. Yeah, and so I'm speculating, Illinois Jones, that it would be the 1st and 2nd from the Detroit Lions to acquire him. I'm pretty sure if you can give up 2 firsts and a 2nd, maybe a little something else, you can probably get up to number 5 or 6 from 12, but I've been wrong before. Pipe, what do you got? Give them Hooker in the 29th pick for Surtain and pick 12. I'm down with that. Hate to say it, but it could happen, man. I mean, I don't know. I guess it really comes down to what Sean Payton thinks of the kids. So again, another video stuff. Johnny Mac, if they drew this, they're going to be a huge contract crunch. I know he's great, but I don't want it unless Denver is eating a good chunk of the cash. Follow the draft process. Yeah, and Johnny, that's to me, that's where I'm at with things. That why sign Surtain to the 5th-year option now if I'm Denver? There's got to be a reason. What I am speculating is you are trying to trade him. And in a part of that trade, you're agreeing to eat part of that contract to help alleviate that burden for whatever team you're trying to trade him to. Pure speculation. I have no corroborating evidence. Nobody's told me anything. That's just me following the dots. Could I be right? Could I be wrong? Who knows? All right, run DMG, very good. Trade and move up with Dallas to get Cooper before the Packers can. All right, I'm down with that. Wilson 1, let's see, Brad's going all in on this season. I think there's a lot of truth to that. Ben Johnson not here for long, big contracts coming up next few years. This is our time to strike. I agree. You see that window of opportunity, you go for it. Joseph, thanks for the update, Coach. Anytime, man. I hope you enjoyed it. JDC, hi all. Hi, JDC. Run Cooper would be a chess piece for our defense, could provide an X factor, and don't forget special teams. He would be a factor there as well. Wilson, Aleem probably gone, going to be a free agent. I have wondered that once they sign DJ Reader, is Liam McNeil on borrowed time here. We'll wait and see. All right, Doug, and he would be for the future of the team too, not on a 1 year. Yeah, he'd be here. I'm guessing if you're getting him, especially if you're getting another team to eat some of that contract, you're probably going to put him to a second contract at least. Run, you got to go up and get him if Cooper is your guy. There you go. Yep. Joseph, but if we trade up and DeJean would be make it there until 12 or 13, there's a possibility. I'll go with that. Bo, holding out for a hero. Yep. Yeah, I'm down with that, Bo, and good to see you. Joseph, that's what I'm talking about. Cooper DeJean could fall back to 12 or 13. He could, man. He could go a little bit later than that too, I think. It just really so much comes down to how teams graded him. I haven't watched enough video on him to put a grade on him personally myself, so I'm going to abstain from making any real guesses there. Detroit, if I wasn't the originator of the trade for Surtain, I was one of the first. I mentioned it in a long time ago when I saw he could be included in a move up. Yep, and I know that the Brand Homes Detroit Lions did have some conversations with Denver last year about him. So who knows, man? Casey, I prefer at least sexy draft with solid depth player for a long-term, low money setup team for next 5 years of postseason chances. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Wilson 1, if we trade up, it will be for Mitchell or Arnold. Fair enough. Mike the Marine, howdy, Dan Lions Fable. How do you doing, Gunny? Hopefully great. Manifest my destiny, since Las Vegas is also looking for a quarterback. Could Las Vegas be looking to acquire another first-round pick? That is, Manifest, that slipped my mind. You might be right. I didn't even think about that. Is there a chance Max Crosby could be available? Oof. Man, I don't think not for a first and second. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm grossly overestimating Crosby's value, but I think you're going to have to give up more than that for him. But, again, I've been wrong before. Robert G, think back, Coach. You and I have been on the Surtain train for quite a while now. Yeah, I'd say for a little over a year, since about just before the trade deadline last year. So I think you're spot on with that. All right, guys, it's been 22 minutes already. Yeah, I better get to getting, or I'm going to get yelled at pretty good here. All right, if there is some other breaking news tonight, I'll get it over to you guys when I get back from the dog park. Otherwise, probably going to have to wait for the morning show. Again, just a couple quick things. If you want, tomorrow night, 6 to 7 p.m., the Sarge, Tony Libretto, and I will host a pre-evening, or I guess you could say pre-night draft show, 6 to 7 p.m., Stadium Drive Liquor Store in Kalamazoo, Michigan, right off 131 and 94. It's a tradition. We've done it there. Come out and say hi to Richie, Mandy, Mom. They run the store. Great people. We'll have the morning show as well, 7 to 8 a.m. Thursday, Scott DeCamp. Most of you guys probably know him. He's been on ESPN. He's been on the Huge Show. He's worked for the Lansing State Journal, the Kalamazoo Gazette, the Detroit media. You get it. He's been all over the place. He's going to be on the show Thursday morning before the draft, 7 to 8 a.m. Other than that, if you like the channel, please consider subscribing. We're, about 70 subs, 30 subs, 80 subs, somewhere. We're shy of 6,500, trying to make the push to get there. Also, if you would be so kind, hit the thumbs up button. All right, I'm heading off to the dog park. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.